So in the previous session, we have discussed about conditional statements and iterative statements. Then how can we use conditional statements and iterative statements to add one or more user-defined conditions and to execute a piece of code repeatedly till the required number of times we have discussed. Now, let's see the constant variables. Then what do you mean by a constant variable and what did you understood with this word constant? Constant means what? Right, exactly. So now constant values are nothing but fixed values. So whenever if you want to make some variable values as fixed, which can't be changed at runtime of the program, throughout the entire program, we can't change that value. That will be always a fixed. In the case, to make a variable value should be always a fixed, okay, which will be carried out throughout the program, then we can go with the help of constant variables. Like for example, whenever I'm doing some calculations, I would like to use a value pi. Generally, what is the pi value as part of mathematics? 3.1416. There is a fixed value is available over here. Now, so now here in this case, I want to make this value will be always a fixed, which can't be changed. In this case, whenever if you want to store these kind of fixed values in the variables, then define that variable as constant. Okay. Now, so in this case, as of now, what we did, we are defining the variable like this, where customer code. Then later, we are going to be assigning some value based on the name. Customer code equals to 3490023. I'm assigning some value because it's a normal variable over here. It's a normal variable. So we can define the variable. Upon defining the variable, if I'm not assigning any value, what is the default value will be assigning by the JavaScript? Not null, undefined. Okay, null will be in Salesforce. Okay, Apex programming. As part of JavaScript, it will assign undefined. Now, in this case, later we can able to assign our own values. But when coming to the constant variables, upon defining the variable itself, we have to assign the value that will be fixed. If you are not assigning the value for the constant variable, it will show the error message, compilation error. Okay. Now, then how can we define? Whenever I'm defining the variable, we have to use the keyword const. Okay, const keyword is used to define this variable is a constant variable whose value cannot be changed throughout the program. Okay, understood the concept here? Now, make a note of this one, constant variables. This feature is used to define a constant variable which is used to store a fixed value which can't be changed throughout the program. Which can't be changed throughout the program. Note. While defining the constant variables, we have to assign the value. We have to assign the value. Now the syntax. We can specify constant variable name equals to value. Constant variable name equals to value. Done with this? Now let me show you how can we do this. I'm going to the Visual Studio Code editor. Let's go to the HTML file. Right click on that file. Click on open with live server. Now it will be opening this HTML content in the browser. Go to the inspect. Click on console. Let me make it minimize. Now go to the JavaScript file. Now we can write the content. I'm defining a variable here, like as a normal variable I'm defining here, where customer code. Now I would like to represent this. Console.log customer code is, I would like to show the customer code variable value. So initially we have defined the variables, then we can represent here. Now it is representing customer code is undefined. Now later here I'm assigning some value. Customer code equals to 89004521. I'm assigning some value. So we can represent the value whatever we have entered. Okay. Now Now, for example, if I'm defining this variable as constant keyword here, see, immediately it is showing the error message. Declaration must be initialized. Okay, that means upon defining the variable, we have to initialize. Defining is nothing but just we can define the variable. That means define the new variable with respect to data type. Initializing means what? We have to assign some value. Initialize the value. That means assign some initial value for this particular variable. So whenever I'm trying to writing this piece of code, it is indicating missing initializer in constant declaration. So upon defining this constant variable, compulsorily we have to initialize with the value. That is a fundamental rule. So now I'm assigning this value now. See, now error message has been gone. Now we can able to see the value customer code is the value which we have assigned. Later, after some time, when we try to assign some new value here, 45009021, I'm assigning a different value over here. When I click on this save button, it will be showing the error message over here. Now assignment to constant variable. So this cannot be acceptable over here. When we try to assign some value for this constant variable, this cannot be acceptable at all. Okay. Now, so that we can't change that value of this program variable throughout the program. Now we can able to define the variable, we can initialize, and then we can represent the result. Clear? Now, make a note of this piece of code. Done with this? Next, string functions. So what exactly the string functions? Okay, what are the various of functions that we have in JavaScript? Now let's see. So basically, we are storing some string values. That means which include some characters, which include some alphanumerical values also. Now, once the content has been stored inside a variable, now in some cases I want to do some calculation or I would like to do some manipulations on these string values. Like in this particular content, how many characters are available? I would like to know. I want to represent the content in some uppercase letter. I want to represent the content in lowercase letter here. I want to split the content to the separate words. In that case here, whatever the operations you want to do on the string values, for that operations we are having some built-in functions has been given by JavaScript. Then what are those built-in functions that we have? Now let me explain one by one here. How to use them, we'll see with the practical use case. Now, make a note of this one here. JavaScript provides a collection of built-in functions. JavaScript provides a collection of built-in functions which can be used to perform the operations on the string values. Which can be used to perform the operations on the string values. Now, we have the below built-in functions. First one, length. This length property. Length property is used to count the number of characters. To count the number of characters exist in the string. In order to count the number of characters exist inside the string, we are using the help of length property. Second one, to uppercase. Now this function is used to represent the content in uppercase letters. To lowercase function. This is used to represent the content in lowercase letters. Split function. Now, split function is used to split the content to the small words. To split the content to the smaller pieces based on the specified character. Based on the specified character, we can able to split the content to the separate words as well. That means we can divide into various small pieces. Done. Now, let's see how can we use it. For example, I'm defining a variable here where some custom message. I'm storing that information. Welcome to JavaScript programming. Welcome to JavaScript programming. This is the content that we have. Now I would like to know in this particular content how many number of characters are available. I would like to count so that we are having length property. So I'm indicating this console.log number of characters count is we can specify custom message dot length. There is a length property. Length property is used to count the number of characters available inside my string. In this entire word, okay, whatever the characters are available, those characters we can able to count, including special characters, including spaces, everything. Now, let me represent this result. So now it is indicating number of characters count is 34. We have total 34 characters are available inside this content over here. Now, I would like to represent this content in uppercase letter here. How can we do that? Console.log. Now, content in uppercase letter. So whatever the content that we have inside this content, if you're having any lowercase letters are available, those will be representing in uppercase letters. Suppose if you're already having the complete content in uppercase, it will show same like as uppercase. Now we can specify custom message dot to uppercase. To uppercase. That will be representing the content in uppercase letters. So whatever the content that you have prepared, the whole content will be visible in uppercase letters automatically. If you want to show the content in lowercase letters, console.log. Content in lowercase letters. Custom message dot to lowercase. To lowercase. So whatever the content that you have prepared, the whole content I would like to show in the lowercase letters here. Here I have given W as capital, J capital, P capital, but the whole content will be visible in lowercase letters only here. So in order to represent the content in lowercase letters, we are using this. Now, I would like to split the content to multiple words. Now in this particular string, how many number of words are available? I would like to count. I want to split the content over here. Where sorry, I would like to indicate console dot var words in the string is I would like to represent custom message dot split. Split this whole content into various small pieces based on space. I'm giving a space. Based on the space, please split the content to the multiple words. Now it is indicating this. We are having various words are available, like as welcome to JavaScript programming. These are the words. Now here in this case, how many words are available? I would like to count. In that case, I would like to represent. Here we can able to collect this. Console dot error. Number of words count in string is I would like to indicate. Custom message dot split. I'm giving a space dot length. So now whatever the content that we have in this custom message, I'm splitting the content to the various small words based on the space. Now those words I would like to count how many words are available here. Now we can represent number of words count is in the string is 4 words are available. Okay. So in this case, it depends upon your requirement, which can able to represent. That facility is available. Suppose if you want to collect some specific characters over here, then we can use the help of a function called as substring. Console.log. Now, part of the string content is I would like to indicate custom message dot substring. In this substring, we can able to pass index position from where you would like to collect over here, how many characters you would like to collect. 0, 4. Now I would like to show in uppercase letter here. To uppercase. 0 to 4 characters here I would like to represent in uppercase letter. Now it is indicating here. This is the first character W, E, L, C. 4 characters here. From 0th index position starting from this one here. Suppose if I'm indicating this index as some 7. Now it will represent that here. Now we are having this. Now O, M, E. Now it is indicating this characters over here. Now here it is indicating the content over here. There is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now here we are having the 7 characters are available here. Now in this case we are going to be collecting this content over here. Now it will be collecting the content here. Now I'm indicating up to 14 for example. Now it is indicating this content over here. 7 to 14 here it will be collecting this content. Here we are having that 7 to 14. So from the 7th index position, it will collect that. Now up to this is 6. That means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 7th index position is empty. Okay, space. Next. From here, 1, 2, 3. That means here this is the 7th one. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now that means it is having this here. Up to this JAV. Okay. Now that means up to that 13 it will be collecting them. Minus 1. It is collecting the characters over here. So whenever if you are going to be collecting some specific characters also, then we can use the help of substring function. Just you can specify the string variable name dot. You can able to get all the methods here. Whatever the methods are required, all the methods will be getting available here. We can able to use these methods also depends upon your requirement. These are all other methods are available. Here all these having these methods. Trim function is available. Trim end, trim start, starting empty spaces we can remove, ending empty spaces we can remove. Both we can able to remove here automatically in one shot. All these are ready-made available to you. Okay. Now make a note of this code. Done with this? Now, next one. The next feature is string interpolation. So what do you mean by this string interpolation? Now let's see. Concept is very simple here. Now, basically, string interpolation is used to embed the variable values inside the string dynamically at runtime. In order to embed the variable values inside that string dynamically at runtime, we are using string interpolation. Like for example, generally when you go to your Salesforce, upon preparing one email template, we are including the record content by using merge fields. We are using the help of merge fields. While preparing the email template, we are using merge fields. In that merge field, we are indicating the curly braces. an exclamation symbol. We are indicating object name dot variable name. That means field name. So now upon representing the email content, so now I would like to go to the subject. I will collect the current record. In this current record, this field value, I would like to collect dynamically at runtime. I want to substitute in this place here. That's what we are using exclamation symbol. Exclamation symbol is indicating this is a dynamic assignment. Dynamically at runtime, in this particular place, please collect this current record available in this particular object. In this current record, this field value will please collect that place in this location. For that reason, we are using merge fields. Now in this case, like the similar fashion, if you want to embed, if you want to insert a variable value inside that respective string variable inside that dynamic at runtime, we are using the help of string interpolation. Then how can we do that? Now let me explain here. Now, so that you can understand. For example, I'm defining two variables over there. I'm defining two variables. For example, where I want to indicate first number. Okay, I'm assigning some value here, 200, and then second number. I'm assigning some 950. I'm performing the addition over here. Okay, I'm performing the addition. Now I want to represent the result here. How can we represent? Console.log addition of both first number value I want to show. First number plus and second number value I would like to represent here. Second number value is, I would like to show that first number is second number. Now, that means what I'm doing here, I'm going to be representing this result here. How? Addition of both first number value. That means here I'm substituting this value. What is that value? 200. So I'm using normal concatenation over here, plus symbol for the concatenation. So the addition of 100 and the value 200 over here. Second value, so sorry, 950. What your value is, I'm representing this value, the addition of these two. Clear? Now, let's see. In this case, we can see the addition of both 200 and 950 value is 1150. This is the concatenation. That means what? In order to embed these values, in order to embedding is nothing but inserting or including. To include this value inside my string, I'm using the normal concatenation operator. Here also concatenation operator. Here also concatenation operator. Instead of doing all these things here, just we can use the help of string interpolation here. How to do that? Now let's see. So whatever the variable that we have, I need to collect this variable value. The same message we can print like this here. Console.log. Now here we have to use backticks character here. Now string interpolation values will be always represented with the help of backticks characters. Now the addition of both first number value I want to show. In order to represent the first number value, we can use that curly braces and the dollar and the variable name. What is the variable name over here? First number. First number. Now this dollar we have to write first. Dollar. Now we have to specify the addition of both. I want to represent the first number value here and dollar second number value is, I would like to represent dollar first number plus second number. Instead of using this plus symbols every time, we can able to represent the result over here. The addition of both 250 and so 200 and 950 is 1150. So previously what happened here, we are using different string value. This is one string, and then we are concatenating, and then we are going to be adding some more concatenation, and then we are concatenating this variable value, and then we are representing this concatenation also again. Instead of doing this kind of concatenation operations, we can able to use the help of string interpolation. Inside this string, we can able to represent this variable value dynamically at runtime by using string interpolation, which will be representing the variable with the help of this is syntax dollar. In the curly braces, we have to specify the variable name. Anything. Yes, merging operation. So now here in this case, whenever we are going to be representing this content over here as part of this string interpolation, the whole string should be represented with enclosed with backticks characters. It should be enclosed with backticks character. This is the fundamental principle of string interpolation. Like as your merge fields, simply we can able to merging the content into your string variable here dynamically at runtime. Instead of using concatenation operators, directly we can use the help of this string interpolation feature. Now let's see. Make a note of this one, string interpolation. By using this feature, we can embed or insert the variable values inside the string dynamically at runtime. Dynamical runtime based on the need. Now, we have to embed the variable name inside the string by using the below syntax. We have to specify the dollar, and then the curly braces we can specify the variable name. Note. Always string interpolation result should be enclosed backticks characters. Backticks characters. Like if you want to show this content also here, I will give that. I'm giving this a syntax where customer name, I'm assigning some value, Ramesh Kumar. Console.log, I'm giving this backticks. Customer name is directly we can specify the dollar symbol. Customer name. For example, I'm representing this content. Done with this? Now, the next feature, arrays. So we have to understand what exactly an array, how to define the arrays in JavaScript, what is the syntax we use to follow, and how can we manage the elements inside these arrays through JavaScript. Now let me explain one by one. So already we know this concept here. What do you mean by array generally? Collection of elements. Then what type of values we can store? Different types of values are same data type, homogeneous, right? So already we know that arrays allows us to store a collection of homogeneous elements. That means same data type elements we can store into a single variable. As of now, we are defining separate variables to hold the values. But in this case, if the number of values are more, then we no need to define more number of variables to hold each and every value separately. In that case, in order to store a collection of values within a single variable, we can use the help of arrays. Now, in this case, whenever if you want to store the elements inside this array, that already we know arrays are having that limitation that it allows us to store only homogeneous elements. Same data type elements we can store inside the array, but different types of elements we can't store. Generally, when you go to Apex programming, to store the different types of elements, we are using collections. But in JavaScript, we have the concept objects. That is the next topic over here. After this arrays, we are having objects like as collections, which can store heterogeneous elements over there. Now, arrays are purely supposed to store homogeneous elements, but it doesn't support to store heterogeneous elements. In this case, whenever we are holding this array inside variables inside the array, for each element, array will allocate one index position which starts from 0 onwards. So each element inside the array will be getting recognized with the help of the index position which always starts from 0. So that in this case here, upon inserting the elements also, upon retrieving the elements also, always we have to use the help of index positions. Now, in this case, how can we define an array? Whenever we are defining an array, we have two syntaxes are available here. We have two syntaxes. First one, define the array which is of type empty. That means I want to define an empty array which doesn't have any element. That means I'm not storing any values over there. If I'm not storing any values, by default it will store the values as undefined. Now, so that here it will store that default values that is undefined. Second one, I want to define an array with my elements here. Upon definition itself, I want to store the values inside this. Then, how to define an array without elements, how to define an array with elements, both will see with the practical here. Okay, now let me give the syntax. I'm not giving any notes because already you know this concept here. Now, defining an empty array. How to define? In this case, we can specify where array name equals to new array of size. We can specify how many number of elements you are going to store. Where array name equals to new array of size to indicate how many elements this array can store inside this. Now, this is the first syntax. That means what? It's an empty array. I'm defining an array with the name. This is the array name equals to new. We can use this keyword array to define an array, okay, by giving a specific size. So based on that, it is going to be reserving the memory location. Each memory location will be recognizing with the help of index position starting from 0. Now, second one, defining array with numerical elements. Defining an array with numerical elements. In this case, we can specify array name equals to, in the square braces, we can specify the value. Value 1, value 2, value 3, like that value. That's the second syntax. Now I would like to show you here. In this case, observe this one. Whenever we are defining an integer array, that means numerical array, give the array name. Here we can specify the values directly over here. Specify the values directly. You no need to give any single quotes, double quotes, backticks, nothing. Because these are numerical values, directly we can supply the value by separating a comma here. Third one, defining an array with the string elements. In this case, we can specify where array name equals to, we can specify that. Value 1, value 2, value 3, value n. Like that, we can able to define this array over here. So we can define an array, okay, with empty, or we can define an array which is of type numerical, or we can define an array which is of type string type of elements also. Depends upon your requirement, we can able to define this array as well. Done with this? Next. Now here these are the three syntaxes are available in order to define an array. Then how can we define this array? How to store the elements? Okay, let me show you. Now, I'm defining an empty array initially here. So I would like to specify where customer quotes equals to new array of some 5. I'm giving this array size over here. Now I would like to know what is the size of this array now. So I'm using console.log. How to collect the size? Now, collection size is what? Length. Okay, today we have discussed length. Now let's see. Use the length property here, which is indicating the collection size is 5. In order to collect the collection size, we are going to be using the help of this property called as length property. I want to indicate system.log collection elements. I want to indicate customer codes. Now all are empty. Okay, the empty values are available. That's what it is giving 5 4 commas over here. No values are available as of now. We haven't stored any values. Now I want to assign the value. How to assign the value now? Same like as Apex programming, no change. Customer codes are 0. I'm assigning the value over here 450090, for example. Customer codes of 1 788784. Customer codes of 2 889900. Customer codes are 3, 445598. Customer codes are 4903347. These are the 5 elements we have added to my array over here. Okay, these are the 5 elements. Now I want to represent console.log. I want to indicate after adding the elements, after adding customer codes are, I want to represent. Now I'm using this string interpolation format here. Now we can see after adding the customer codes are, whatever the customer codes we have specified, all the customer codes will be visible by separating a comma. Clear? Now I would like to represent these elements in a separate row. Because here all the elements are visible in a single row by separating a comma. Now I would like to represent the element in separate rows over here. Then what we can do then? Backslash n, no. That is for HTML. You know, in Apex programming also we did this. Break tag is for HTML. In this case, use a iterative statement. Use the iterative statement. You can start iterating this collection from starting to ending and display each and every value over there. Now, I would like to represent here. Print the elements by using for loop. How can we iterate now? Let's see. I'm using the for loop for where index equals to from where we need to iterate 0 by 0 because it is index positions are starting from 0. Next, index less than or equal less than what? Can we write like this here? Customer codes dot length. Length will be returning the value what? 5. Now less than 5 means what? Up to what? 4. Right. Now index plus plus. I want to represent. Okay. I'm iterating this array. Index is starting from 0, where index equals to 0, index less than customer codes dot length up to 4, and then I would like to increment the index value by 1 every time here. Now I would like to represent console.1. Now I'm indicating customer code is, I want to use a dollar customer codes of index. Customer codes of index. I'm using string interpolation format here. Instead of using single quotes plus symbols and every time, just we can able to use that string interpolation format. So whatever the elements are available, each and every element we can able to represent with the help of this, which is separate row. So the customer code is, we are able to represent these values in a separate row over here. Clear? Now. So now here I would like to use this. Okay, whatever the array that we have, I want to iterate this array from starting to ending directly. As of now, we have used the help of index position. Without using index position, I would like to use one more iterative statement that is called as for of. Like as the enhanced for loop concept here. Now, print the elements by using for of statement. How can we use this now? Let's see. Now tell me in this case. Here we can specify the array name. What is the array name? Customer codes. Now in this array, what we have? Elements. Of what type over here? We are having the elements of type integer or string. Here this is a numerical values here. Just you can define a variable. Okay, just define a variable. Where I'm indicating C code of. There we are using colon. In our Apex programming, we are using colon notation. Here we are using of. That is the difference. That's it, nothing else. Remaining everything will be same. Console.log. I'm using customer code is, I'm representing C code. That's it. Whatever the customer code variable value that we have, I would like to represent it over here. So we can see customer code values, we can see from 1 to last. Whatever the 5 customer codes are available, we can able to see that. Clear? Understand the concept now? Next. Now this array is already full. Now I want to add some more additional elements to my array here. Adding additional element to array. How to add the additional elements to the array? Now let's see. I'm indicating customer codes dot push method. There is a push method which is used to add some more elements to the array. That means I'm going to be expanding the array size automatically here. But if it is an Apex programming, that will be fixed. You can't increase. Now I'm adding this element here. Okay, 3, 4, 9, 9, 2, 1. I'm adding this element. Now let's see that. Console.log customer codes are, we can represent customer codes. Now let's see. How many elements are available now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. What is the size that I have given for my array over here as of now? 5. How many elements are available now? 6. So automatically it will be expanding the array size also. Now, suppose for example, if you want to remove the recently added elements over here, then we'll see. For that one, we have a method. Remove the recently added method element from array. How can we remove customer codes dot pop? There is a method called as a pop method which will be removing the recently added element. Then we can represent console dot log customer codes are customer codes. Now let's see. Previously we are having 6 elements over here. Now we are having 5 elements. So in order to extend that array, we are using the help of a method called as the push method to remove the recently added element from the array. We are using the help of pop method. Okay, clear? Understand the concept now? How can we define these elements? Last. We can't insert in the middle position here. Okay. Next one. I will show you one more example over here on this array. How to combine two arrays into a single array. Now let me show you with the practical. This time what I want to do is I want to take two arrays where I want to store the elements directly. In the definition itself, I would like to store the elements. Here what we did, we have defined one empty array over here. In this case, I have defined an empty array. Now this time I want to define an array with elements also. Then how can we do that? Now let's see. Defining and initializing the array. I want to define two string arrays over here. Now, where I'm indicating home products. Now, where home products. Now, observe the scenario here. Whenever we are going to storing the elements in this square braces, that means it's an array. Upon storing the elements, if you're using this square braces array, that means it's an array. If you're storing the elements in curly braces, that means it's an object. Okay, it's an object. This is an indication. Is it an array or object? We can identify by using this notation. What are the elements that you have prepared? If the elements has been enclosed inside that square braces, that means it's an array. If the elements has been enclosed in curly braces, it will be object. That we'll see in tomorrow's session objects concept over there. Now this is an arrow notation. This is object notation here. Now I'm storing some elements here. Like I would like to store home products. Like for example, TV, AC, and then fridge, some grinder, some fan, like that. These are the 5 elements I have stored inside my array, which is home products array. I'm defining one more array over here, that is office products. I'm adding some elements over here. Like I would like to use now the laptop, desktop, printer, projector, webcam, scanner. These are the products. I have stored these 6 elements inside this second array. First array contains 5 elements. Second array contains 6 elements inside this. These are the 2 arrays. That means upon defining the array itself, we can able to store the elements directly here. Okay. Now I would like to combine both the arrays over here. Combine both the arrays into a single array. I want to combine both the arrays into a single array here. How can we combine now? Let's see. Where all products equals to home products dot concat. There is a method called as concatenation method. Here we need to pass that array name, office products. That means whatever the home products array that we have, for this home products array, I'm going to be concatenating office products also. That means it will show all the home products first, comma, it will show the office products also over here. This is the way we can able to concatenate 2 arrays by using concat method. Home products dot concat of office products. Now we can able to represent this. Now console dot log, I want to indicate all the products are, I want to represent all products. All products. I'm representing this all these products. Now let's see. So whatever the products are available, all the products will be getting visible here. So now we are having this home products are available, comma, automatically it will be adding that office products also by default. Clear? Now this is one way. Now here we are having one more latest syntax, okay, as part of your JavaScript in the latest version ES6. That is called as a split syntax over here. Combine both the arrays with a split syntax, which is available in ES6 version. Okay, ECMAScript 6, JavaScript version 6. We can specify where now total products. equals to, we can specify that as notation here. We can specify three dots. Three dots, we can specify home products, comma, three dots, office products. This is called as spread syntax notation here. Now, in this case, in this home products, whatever the elements are available, it will collect. In office products, whatever the elements are available, it will collect. It will both concatenate. Those elements will store into your total products array automatically. This is one syntax. It's a old method here, concatenate. This is the latest syntax that is called as spread syntax over here. Three dots, only three dots. Okay. Now in this case, I would like to represent console dot one. Now total products are. I would like to represent total products. Now we can see the same products also over here by using this split syntax also. Depends upon your requirement, we can able to use any one of this here. Either concat method or the split syntax. Split syntax is the latest one, which is advanced, and then don't go with the concatenate over here. It will be taking concatenation of two arrays over there. Use the split syntax, which is very easy to implement. Okay. Now, understood the concept over here? This is how we can able to define the arrays as part of your JavaScript, and then we can define the array which is of type empty, and we can define the array which will be holding some elements also over there. Understood the concept now? This is the concept of arrays. Next one, we have objects and functions that we'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll see the concept of objects and functions so that we can complete this in JavaScript. As part of these functions, I will show you how to define non-parameterized, how to define parameterized function. Upon defining the function, we have three syntaxes here: how to define the function with the parameters, how to define the function which will store the result in a variable, how to define arrow functions also. Okay, three syntaxes will be available. We'll see practically. When you go to that implementation, in so many places we are using arrow functions also here, which will be having the notation like this. Arrow functions also. What is this arrow function? We'll see that practically as well. Okay. Do the practice on these features today. Tomorrow we'll see the remaining two here. And then tomorrow we'll be having the class as usual here. Wednesday we don't have the session. Okay, Wednesday we don't have the session. Thursday onwards, till Tuesday we'll be having online sessions because I will be out of session from Wednesday onwards. So that here, so we don't have the classroom session. We'll be having online session here. Okay, Wednesday no session. From Thursday to till Tuesday we'll be having online. Okay, Saturday also I will take up the session here. Sunday and Monday will be the holiday because Sunday we don't have any sessions as of now, and Monday will be the election day. So that here we don't have the session on Monday as well. Tuesday we'll be having online session. From Wednesday we'll be having classroom sessions as usual. Okay, please plan accordingly on this. Thank you.